suppose. The room
living
is
in your
on fire.
Living in your
Porpoise.
Living in your porpoise. How do you do that?
Or a living porpoise.
Okay, guys, we're just like really being funny here. Living with a porpoise. Okay. Yeah, that would be kind of hard to do. Don't you need like a lot of water for that?
Oh, there is a river.
Yeah. So if you haven't noticed, guys, we're acting a little funny today. Cheers to everybody. Welcome back to my coffee break conversations. And today it's about living in your porpoise. Living in your purpose. That's what it sounded close though, close enough. And I'm actually drinking my it's actually a tangerine energy positive energy tea. It's really good. It's like a tangerine flavor, so I'm drinking that. And I'm actually keeping it over here right now, aside from me. Yeah, we had a really fun incident yesterday. Yeah, and I'm very lucky. I was at my mom's, and I was working on my computer, visiting with her, and I was working on my computer, and I was drinking kombucha yesterday, and the lid, I didn't realize, I went to kind of tilt it to kind of mix it a little bit, and I forgot that the lid on top was leaky, and it went right in the middle of my keyboard on my computer, and I like freaked the crap out because I really thought my computer was just dead. So we turned it upside down, and we were trying to get all the liquids out and everything, and Toby he like undid the whole thing, made sure it didn't get to all the components in there, and everything was dry. But my keyboard got messed up. And so my keyboard isn't working right, and we got to order a new keyboard, and so I'm using his computer, or one of his older computers, which is doing okay, but I got so used to working on my laptop that I'm like, oh my gosh, it like freaked me out. So yeah, from now on, I'm keeping all of my liquids away from the computer. So you guys, if you ever learned your lesson on that, keep all your liquids away from your computer. I'm not kidding, okay? So anyway, back to what we were talking about, living in your purpose. And I have covered some of this kind of before in the past, but not really to an extent where I really would like to go with it. And, when it comes to talking to people about living in their purpose, a lot of times you'll get a blank stare like, living in my purpose? What? People will like give you a deer in the headlights look, or they'll look at you kind of funny, or they'll just roll their eyes and go, yeah, whatever, okay, she's crazy. And it's the reason people do that is because they don't know what their purpose really is, right? Most people, if you ask most people nowadays what your purpose is, they're not going to be able to truly answer you, right? And I did a post on this, I guess it was a couple months ago on Facebook, asking a question of what is your purpose? What is your passion? And a lot of people can't really truly answer that. They go, I don't know. I know I'm here, I exist, I don't know, They don't really know. And it's not a bad thing not to know. I mean, the majority of people don't. I didn't. I never did forever. I mean, even as a kid, I never really thought about my purpose, and into my adulthood, I never thought of it. And it didn't happen to me up until about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. About a year and a half, really. And, we spend most of our adulthood not even knowing this. And the thing is a lot of people will think, okay, well, I'm going to go out and search for my purpose, right? I'm going to go out and just comb the earth for my purpose. And a lot of the times what happens is confusion. Most people don't get that far. They get frustrated, they get confused. They can run around searching for all these things, searching for answers, and the answers never come, right? So, and I'm going to take a drink of my tea here. the answers never come. So they get real frustrated going, well, I don't know. I don't know. And the word I don't know, believe it or not, guys, whenever you say I don't know, it's actually an excuse for you not to search, not to go in deep with yourself and find it. It's just an excuse to not do it. You do know. You do know. Everybody probably really truly knows, but they are not bringing it out. They're not bringing it to the surface. And I know I speak a lot of, from a coaching standpoint, I speak a lot of going in deep with yourself to find out what that is. Going into, dropping out of your head, into your heart, into what do you truly want to do? That's the biggest question. And when you ask somebody what you truly want to do, a lot of people will go, well, I don't know. Like especially, let's go back here with entrepreneurs, or you're wanting to be one. They'll go, well, I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to make more money, or I wanted this, or I want to do that, or I want to do this. And they're just saying these things, not really finding their purpose. Anyone can say, I want to make more money. I want to have time freedom. I want to be financially free. I want to be able to do the things I want to do on my own timeline. That's great and all, but what is that, right? What is it that you really want to do? And when you fall into your purpose, it usually starts with passion, with your passions, okay? So, and I know for me, everybody's experience is different, okay? And everybody is going to have a different view on finding their purpose. For me, I wasn't really even looking for my purpose. It came to me. And a lot of the times, if you allow yourself to, you have to allow it first. If you don't allow yourself to, I think, be quiet with yourself, if you don't allow yourself to open up to new ways of thinking, new possibilities, new opportunities, a new mindset way of thinking, if you don't allow that in your life, you're never going to find anything. If you stay closed-minded all the time and just, you're like this with your head and your heart, and you're just banging, and your head is telling you one thing, and you're just in constant conflict within yourself, it's not going to happen, right? And I think that's where a lot of people get confused, is they're not finding their true passions, what they really want from a heart standpoint. And I almost want to say from a cellular level. And what do I mean by that? When you have your purpose and when you have your vision and you found your passion, it is almost like, and I don't know how else to explain this. It is almost like when you fall in love. Okay, you know when you fall in love and you feel all light and you feel like you can, like, you're floating on air and you think about that person all the time. You can't get them out of your head. You're kind of going through, you can't sleep well. You're always thinking about it. It's kind of the same thing. When you find your purpose and you find what you really love to do, what you really want to do in your life, you're going to think about it all the time. It's going to continually be in your heart. It's going to be there on a cellular level. It's going to go so deep that your whole being is going to be lit up by it, okay? Your whole being is just going to be, like, energetic with it. And that is the best way, I guess, that I can explain it. And, like for me, and I'll give you guys an example for my own stuff. And I know I've said this before, I love travel, okay? I love getting outdoors. I love camping. I love exploring new places and new things. I love the, just going out to, like, museums and getting out on trails, and I love that stuff on a cellular level. It goes beyond. It goes really beyond my heart. It goes deeper than that. It's part of me. It's part of my life and part of what I want to pursue and do on a regular basis, right? And it is so powerful that when I'm not able to do those things, and there's been times, yes, in recent years here that I have not been able to go and do those things as much as I want for, just for personal reasons with family and things going on and stuff like that, that I have to be here for the moment. And because I'm not doing those things as much as I would love, I still do them, but not as much as I would love to do at this moment in time, it is like a big, huge bubble just waiting to burst out of me. It's like, it's insane, okay? And when it happens, it's almost, I'm reluctant to use this word, guys, but it's almost orgasmic. And I'm not talking about that in a sexual way, okay? It's not a sexual thing that I'm talking about. It is like, imagine just something building, right? And it's so deep and so powerful that it just pops and it bursts, and it's like all this pleasure, and you just get all this happiness and this joy and this deep connection. That is kind of the way I can explain it, is what your purpose feels like. And you will know it when you feel that way about something, so strong about something. It will feel like that. Your whole body will just be energetic with it, okay? That is the only way to explain it. And for me, that's what being out does. That's what the travel and the exploring new places and just the overall act of being out is what I love to do. It's what I've always loved to do since I was a little kid, okay? That's me. Some people cannot probably, you might have something totally different that you love. But in order to do the things I love, in order to do your passions and create, pursue what you want to do, you have to have a means to do it with, right? So in order to go out and travel, for example, and see all the places and do all the things, I have to have a means that's going to get me to that point, okay? And that means is going to be what you do. So like, and I'm not really talking about a job, although it can be if you really love your job and that is where you feel that you need to be. For me, it's in being an entrepreneur. It's in being a life coach. For me, that is the means and my purpose for that to expand out to my life's purpose, what I want to do. So it's all connected, right? And a lot of people will think, and I thought this too, that being an entrepreneur is separate from your work life, is separate from your personal life. But it is a lifestyle, guys. Being an entrepreneur is a lifestyle. The things I love to do with my family, my husband, is a lifestyle. It is a passion for me, okay? It's what lights me up. It's what sets me on fire. Cellular deep, soul deep, okay? That is the best way I think purpose should be. And if you're sitting here going, okay, Donna, well, that's great. I'm happy for you, and you know what you love, you married, you know what you want to do. Well, what about me? I don't know nothing. Guys, don't feel bad, okay? I am still learning. I am still going out and learning every day to pursue the lifestyle that I want to live, okay? It did not come easy for me. So if you guys are sitting there going, yeah, well, that's great. She found her purpose. She knows what she wants to do. It wasn't easy for me, guys. It took me my whole freaking life to come to where I am right now. It took me a lot of struggle and a lot of heartache and a lot of being down on myself, being pushed down to the ground like somebody threw bricks on top of me and buried me. It took me out in order for me to find where I was. So if you guys are sitting there going, oh, well, that's easy for you. No. It was not easy for me. And for some people, it might be easy. I'm not saying it won't be. I mean, for you, you might already know what you want to do. In fact, you might even be doing it right now. Okay? It doesn't have, time is irrelevant. And I want to clear that up right now, guys. Time, finding your purpose, time is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if it takes you a month. It doesn't matter if it takes you a year. It doesn't matter if it takes you over half your lifetime or longer to find where you want to be. It doesn't matter as long as you find it and you're happy and that's where you want to be. Okay? And if you're thinking, you know, a lot of people will say, well, Donna, what are some tips and tricks that can get me to my purpose? And I'm not going to give you any tips or tricks to find your purpose because really there isn't any. The only advice that I could give would be to sit down with yourself in a quiet place more than once. Okay, it's not gonna, it may not happen to you overnight, but get in a habit of getting out, getting in a quiet place, clearing your brain, getting your heart, opening yourself up, and getting honest with what do you truly want, okay? And think about that. Think about what your passions are. Think about what you love to do, that you could do it all day long and all night and not stop. That is probably my best advice to you in finding your purpose. When you find that kind of passion, that kind of dedication, that's usually where your purpose will start falling into place. Okay. I'm trying to think of another, I mean, I can give you guys my story, and I think I have before. Mine was triggered. My purpose was actually triggered by a mentor on a podcast, Mark Hoverson. And I shared this with you guys, I think, before. But for those of you who are new and who maybe just started joining our coffee break conversations, he had passed and gone about almost a year ago, but I followed him like glue. Okay, and I was laying in bed one night, and I listened to a podcast. It was late. It was about 1 a.m. I couldn't sleep. It was at a time where I was just really, I was really stressed, and I just couldn't sleep. And I thought, okay, I'm going to listen to a podcast from him. And he was talking about vision, your goals, your passion, your purpose. He was talking about these sort of things. And the experience I had is, what was interesting about it is, as I was listening to this podcast, it hit me on a soul felt, cellular felt level. It hit me so deep that I almost felt like my heart, like, you know how you get those little heart palpitations, your heart just like, I actually felt that. I felt this deep thing deep in my heart, and I laid there in tears. And I was laying up there, and I think my husband was, I don't know, he was doing something else or in the shower, I don't know, but I was laying in bed early because I didn't feel too great. And, well, not early, but I was laying in bed. I didn't feel too great about myself, about things that were going on at that time, and I was just laying there in tears, just going, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? What happened? It floored me so hard, and I started to see these visions of where, like, all this stuff that I wanted to do hit me back again. The travel, the places I wanted to go, the thing I wanted to do for being an entrepreneur instead of bouncing around to all these things. I come to a conclusion about where I wanted to be. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? Well, a little bit of more time passed, and I woke up that morning and I'm like, just, wow. I was like, wow. Okay. And this is over a period of time. This didn't happen to me just overnight, guys. Okay. And anyway, a little time passed, about, I say a month. And I kind of, after about a month, I was still going through some really traumatic, emotional stuff. I was really just, not really focused in it much. And a little bit of more time passed, and all of a sudden I got on another podcast from him, or actually it was an actual video. And I was in here by myself at the time. And he had started talking, Mark Hoverson, the same guy, he started talking about purpose and passion and heartfelt, heart-centered business, what your heart really wants, what you really want to do. Same stuff, right? Same stuff that I'm talking to you about today. And he went in more depth, and he said to look back in your childhood and kind of figure out what did you love to do? What were the things that you did as a kid that you actually loved to do? Again, as a kid, my parents always would travel. We'd always go camping. We'd always be out in the woods. We'd always be out hiking or doing something. That was already there. And that was already there, okay? But what I loved to do as a kid, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that kind of age, I would write stories. I love the act of physical writing. Okay, I know, I'm crazy. I actually love the act of writing, and I would write short stories. I would write essays. I'd make up these things in my head, and I would make little booklets with stories in them. And I would act out like I had my own business. I was already an entrepreneur in my heart as a kid, and I never knew it, right? That's how much he got me thinking about this. And as I sat back, I role-played as a kid that I had a family, and I role-played as a kid that I owned my own club. I had like a club. I called it, I think, Queen of Hearts Club. It was crazy. But I owned my own business as a kid in my mind. I pretended like I had my own business. And also, I pretended like I had an audience in front of me, and I would get up in front of people, well, fake people, okay, just imaginary people. And I'd be in my bedroom, and I would just be talking about mindset stuff in a childlike way, okay, as a child would explain it. I would be talking about the mindset that people need. I would be talking about different things, that emotional stuff, to help heal people, to help people feel better in a kid-like way, okay? So as like a child would explain it, I would pretend, and I don't know exactly what I said. Okay, I can't remember exactly, but I was acting like I was coaching these people, these fake audience. And then as I got older, I kind of, got shied away from that, and I got kind of in my own little shell, and I didn't really, I became kind of shy, and I didn't really pursue anything. And as I got older and I got in, gotten into high school and all that, that direction, I kind of just faded that out. I never even thought about it anymore, right? And, make a long story short, as I was growing up, I graduated from high school, and I took a whole nother direction in my life. As you guys, if you've heard my story before, I went into work at the corporate world for a long time. I did secretarial work. I did all that kind of stuff, all the things of that. Wasn't satisfied, wasn't happy. Always something in my heart was always eating at me. Always, 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 always. And anyway, going back to this video, or this podcast from Mark that I listened to the video, I sat there and I busted out in tears because I'm like, oh my gosh, again, it hit me again, right? I'm like, wow. I made the connection all these years to where it led me up to this moment. My purpose was already revealed to me way, way back when I was a kid. And of course, being a kid, I didn't know it. I didn't think of it like that because as kids, we don't think of stuff like that. We're kids. We're supposed to play. We're supposed to role play. We're supposed to have fun and do all these things, right? So of course I didn't know that. And then I started doing business meetings with people as, I started bouncing around in different entrepreneur things. And I started talking in front of actual people, actual audiences, actual people of, with different things that I was promoting at the time. And it got me out of that, and it got me back to thinking again. It's like that helped me get out of that shyness where I was and get back into alignment where I'm supposed to go. Again, not knowing that was, where I was leading me up to now. And after I listened to that, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's leading me more and more and more and more to where I want to go. So that floored me. Then moving ahead, I think probably another 6 months or so. It was a course of 2 years, almost 2 years, guys. That you would think I would have gotten onto this. But it took me that long to nail it. It took me that long to get there. And then after that, I think I shared this, guys, when I had I was in a deep meditative state on the floor one night, and all the visions, it was like someone took a recorder, turned it on, and I seen vividly everything in my brain. I was in a deep meditative state, and I could see and feel and touch and know all. It wasn't like explicit detail, but it was it was kind of like a big vision of where I wanted to go. I seen it all. Okay? I seen the audiences I wanted to talk to. I seen a specific couple in my mind, what they look like that I'm going to be coaching. I seen these masterminds that I want to open up all over, and how these people come and do and work, even online. I mean, everything was revealed to me. Everything. And this happened in a course of 2 deep meditative states, 2. And so with that, I went another while longer. Another year went by. Yes, guys, I know. I probably could have took a hammer to my head and go, Donna, come on. Let's think here. Another year went by. And during the course of this time, I kept thinking, okay, I got caught up again in all the emotional stuff and all the things in my head and all the things that were going on and all this and all that. And I kind of just put it in the back of my head. I said, okay, back burner. Back burner. Then, all of a sudden, I started thinking about it every single day. To the point of now, I think about it every single day. All the time. I think about this business that I want to do, life coaching business that I'm going to be doing, the book that I'm starting to write. All these things are starting to come together in little bits and pieces. It's taking time, yes. It took me a long time, guys, and it's a growing process. But the reason I shared this with you is not to make you feel bad. It's not to make you go, oh my gosh, well, yeah, that's great for you. Okay, I'm not boasting in any way. I am sharing this deep from my heart because I know, guys, you can have this same thing. You can have a purpose. You can have a passion. You can go out and pursue it. But you have to allow it first. I wasn't allowing jack crap. That's what took me so long. I didn't allow jack crap to get into my head or my heart. The only thing I was allowing was negativity from the outside world coming in, tearing me down, putting me on this floor to the point of deep, dark depression. I let it do that to me. I can't even tell you. I have a blank mind for almost a 2-year period. Well, actually a year, I would say. I couldn't even tell you what happened. I phased out so bad. So, it doesn't mean all this happens to you. It doesn't mean that that will happen to you. It's just, this is my personal experience. This is what I had to go through to get to where I am now, to realize my passion, my purpose. When I pursue what I love, everything else that I love will fall into place. I'll get to do all the things. I'll get to travel. I'll get to go to all these exotic places. I'll get to go with my husband to and my palms are sweaty, guys. It's getting me on a cellular level. It's getting me sweaty. This is how it works, okay? It's so emotional. It's unfreaking believable what this kind of thing can do for you once you find it out. If you push it down and you try to put it on the back burner like I did, thinking I need to focus on other things in my life, it's just going to keep nagging at you and nagging at you and nagging at you, and it won't go away until you start pursuing it. And once you do, that is where you will find your life will change. So anyway, guys, that was very emotional just to say that for you guys. I mean, literally, I'm just like sweating buckets over here. And I hope, and I really was going to have Toby on here, but all of a sudden this just started coming out, and I think I'm at this point going to leave it there for you guys to think. Really sit down and think what you want to do, where you want to go with your life. If you're in a place right now where you're feeling stuck, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling mad, you're feeling frustrated, you don't know what to do, this would be the time to go look deep in your heart and find where you want to go. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're going to find your passion overnight. You might be one of their. I'm not saying nothing's impossible. There's a chance that you can. But be prepared. Be prepared for an emotional roller coaster, and it's not all bad. Be prepared for it to hit you. If you're sitting there searching for it, you're never going to find it. You're going to have to allow for it. Allow for it to happen first. Allow yourself to open up first. You remember that saying, you go first. You have to be the one to start it first. Nobody else can do this for you. You go first in your heart. You go first in your mind. And find where you want to go. Once you do, if it hits you, everybody's different. You're going to have a different experience, I'm sure, than obviously what I did. Once you find it, you can become unstoppable. If someone tries to stop you in your tracks at that point, and it is so strong, it's just going to be like, yeah, whatever, right? If someone came to me right now and told me, Donna, you'd be better off getting a job, or you'd be better off doing this, or you'd be better off, I think you should do this, you know what I'd tell them at this point? I tell them, you know what? No. It's my life. I decided what I want. You don't get to decide for me. I get to decide for me, not you. Yes, guys, I'm very strong in my beliefs right now. I am. And I hope this has helped you. I know I got off track. I got on a very high emotional level, but this is what felt really compelled to share with you on my coffee break conversations, and I barely taken any sip of my tea. So anyway, guys, really think about it. And then I think that's all I'm going to say today. Just go out there, make it a great day, a great week, and stay tuned because I will be doing another episode, probably with Toby next time. Another episode of my coffee break conversations, okay? So you guys take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Get out there, make it happen, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.